Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the final day of this week's LCK Summer 2020. I'm Atlas. This is What Did. I woke up downstairs because yesterday was such a long day, 6 arduous matches, and we're back here for our final day of LCK before I go to sleep for about 4 days until we come back.
Yeah, true. And also, today is also kind of interesting day.
It is definitely an interesting day.
Yeah, maybe yesterday was a high quality of LCK, and maybe today is the not that great as yesterday, but still, it's really important for all the teams.
No, exactly.
Playing today.
Our first one going to be SB versus SP. One little curved thing under a letter away from one another, but standings show that SANDBOX are looking a little bit better than SeolHaeOne Prince. SeolHaeOne Prince are looking for their 10th loss in a row.
Oh, man.
They only won in the very first week up against Hanwha Life. Hanwha have since been able to get some revenge. And the weird thing is, right, like, the standings are so crazy at the bottom of the LCK. Our bottom teams are just really, really far down.
So if SP loses today, then I think they are going to be 10th place.
They will, yes.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And if they win, they can potentially move up to 6th or something with a 2-0. Isn't there like some insane swing that can potentially happen? I don't think they can go up to 6th, but I think they can, like, you know, definitely create some distance between themselves. SANDBOX they can definitely get further up in the standings here, and we'll be able to confirm all of this stuff as we're not going to talk about the new record in the LCK because that is only bad for SeolHaeOne Prince. The match to stop the losing streak. SANDBOX definitely need to get back on the horse. I think we're going to need some more of that Yamato magic. I think his secret stuff is starting to wear off.
I mean, for sure, still possible playoffs to make it. And they have to clean out today to contest the last spot with Africa Prince, you know?
Yeah. And Africa have looked either amazing or terrible, depending on which matches you've been watching, right?
But that's why I'm saying it's still possible if they can win it out today.
And they're bringing a bit of a roster change. Flawless not coming in to SeolHaeOne Prince, and it's going to be Kuma back again. We did see Kuma, I think it was in the Kesper Cup, where we saw him playing. Also, I believe they promoted with Kuma on the roster.
1 month
before
of
Flawless
benching.
actually came in,
Yeah, I mean, he played LCK and like he got benched for like 1 month, and he's back now. So I think they want to change something because it's summer and it's round 2. There is no time anymore. If you lose this regular season hard, then you have nothing to do for like 4 months, you know? So
yeah, I mean, I'm confused as to why they're bringing Kuma in and not bringing Kaney in as well. Because Kaney is, I think, maybe going to be someone that could also help the team. Mickey has been just not finding himself so far this season. And I'm looking forward to seeing whether, you know, they do try and experiment with that mid lane role. But it feels like SeolHaeOne Prince are relying on Mickey for a lot of the macro play. And his poor laning phase just has to be accepted if he's going to help them play macro. But, I mean, that's also looked bad. So, you never know. Anyway, SANDBOX sitting in 8th place at the moment. So, yes, a victory for them could get them towards 6th and 1 step away from a playoffs berth. SeolHaeOne Prince, absolutely no chance of making 6th place because they're in 9th with only 1 victory. And that was a pretty ridiculous thing of me to say by accident earlier on. But still, they do need to win here in order to stay out of 10th.
Yeah, and I mean, from the stats, they are the worst. Yeah, there is nothing much that we can talk about it, but surprisingly, SANDBOX has decent stats, you know, like the KDA is on 3rd. That means they're not dying that much, like the bottom tier teams, and like win rate with the first blood is also really high. So they know how to snowball, they know how to win. So this is one of the days they should prove themselves that they deserve the playoffs, and going on to the last season, I guess, before the franchise.
Exactly, and thankfully, SeolHaeOne Prince, even though they're in 9th or 10th place, depending on how this series goes, they're not going to be relegated. They may not make it into franchising. However, they're not going to get relegated. It's not going to be their fault. As we go over the rosters, no changes on the SANDBOX side. Everyone retaining their position. Fate with a much easier matchup here today. Looking forward to seeing what he can bring because a lot of people were very hyped on at least Fate's stats since, you know, coming back to the roster after it was Dove for a majority of the time through their very rough first start. But here we go, Kuma going to be making his way in to SeolHaeOne Prince, and we'll see whether he can be the catalyst to success here for this squad. Sometimes you just need to change one little thing, and it can get people back on track.
Yeah. So here we go, the key player. I think it's more for the Fate, not Mickey, because Fate was doing great.
Yeah, man.
And all the games that the SANDBOX won is because of the Fate.
And he's also second on damage per minute, which is actually insane.
True.
His damage difference of 15 minutes is the highest in the league, and he's third on solo kills. Somehow Mickey's first.
So he's still rolling a dice.
I guess
right?
so. He's trying to go for those kills. I mean, we haven't looked at his isolated deaths, thankfully, because that would make him look a bit silly, but 10 solo kills is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And he has been playing like things like, he played Zed that one time, might be able to bring it out here today. Zed did get rebuffed. Shadows moving that quickly is something that scares the heck out of me, because I do remember what Zed's used to do, solo queue, things like that.
But, you know, like the goal difference at 15 minutes is still minus for Mickey, so
yeah.
he is able to get some kills by himself in lane, but he still don't know how to use that advantage to snowball the game, and it affects the other lanes as well, you know? So I think they can, I mean, they still have chance, right? They have the abilities, but they just need to organize a little bit for the team, and I think, yeah. And for me, it should be the bot side who should get the spotlight for the SeolHaeOne. Is like, we remember how strong is Hybrid when he is able to carry. I mean, we saw that already at the spring split. So I think they just need to have a strong laning phase against SANDBOX, especially because SANDBOX's weakness is still bot lane. They have really weak laning phase. So
yeah.
I think if they can make it through, then they have really great chance today against SANDBOX.
And Root is a very good late game hyper carry, but you're right. I think the laning phase not necessarily up to snuff, and Gorilla just likes to play Tahm Kench every single game. Beautiful floral shirt there for Yamato Cannon, and we'll see whether Yamato is going to be able to bring some of that magic here as we hop into the draft. We need no R5 Renekton's. That's what we're looking for, and thankfully for Yamato, he doesn't have the opportunity to do that because SANDBOX is starting off on the blue side. See where the bans are going to go. Set taken away first is interesting, as there's the Senna ban away from SANDBOX.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really simple ban to take it when Hybrid is always like popping off on Abelius and nothing else, you know?
Yeah, true. Well, Twisted Fate, still available. I believe, I mean, this guy's name is Fate. His name is literally in the name of the champion. You should probably ban it.
That's true.
We have Dove, so you know you need to ban Azir. And then we have Fate, so you probably should ban Twisted Fate. And there it goes. Beautiful. So, having a look at what's left up, definitely 80 carries galore. Root could go towards something like a Kalista to empower Gorilla. Oh. That is where SANDBOX is looking. They gave me the script this morning. I apologize. They left you in the dark there, we did, so you're going to have to be along for the ride.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, yeah, Ezreal is the simple answer. But I was expecting something new, like Kog'Maw or something from SeolHaeOne, because
I know, it'd be really cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, choosing Ezreal is kind of... I mean, choosing Ezreal into Kalista is kind of... I mean, it's still good, but you do not have only Priya, right? So if you are like worst team compared to enemy team, then it can be really bad choice.
Oh god.
And still, there is Zoe as well. So if they, if SANDBOX ends up with something like Zoe plus Lee Sin or something, then it can be really scary for SP already, because then you cannot use Olaf that much, and also Ezreal is gonna get pushed all time.
Oh, okay, so that's Nautilus locked in. When you said Zoe Lee Sin, I just expected it to be locked in, right? Fade is a very good Zoe player.
Yeah.
And he may as well pick that one up, but not wanting to let Mickey... And I mean, I guess picking it into Mickey is a little bit rough, because Mickey loves assassins, so you might be playing a little bit face up. Braum would be awful. I hate this.
Yeah, I mean,
why isn't
I
it
think this is worst choice, because, I mean... Okay, so you already mentioned Bard, right? And there is also, I mean, it's still Ezreal Braum is fine pick. So you have so many picks that you can pick with Ezreal. So I don't see why they picked up Braum here instead of Zoe, because they can end up with really strong mid jungle.
Oh, true, yeah.
Into 4-5 banning phase as well. So they could make really strong mid jungle synergy here, but for some reason, I guess they have no street champion on support role.
I don't get it. I don't understand. Maybe Secret didn't want to play Bard. I believe he's played Bard already this season. As Renekton going to be banned, so SANDBOX is going to shoot themselves in the foot there a little bit, because it could have been an R5 Renekton for the loss. Not going to be happening this time around, as SANDBOX are going to save SeolHaeOne Prince.
Yeah, I mean, one positive thing for SeolHaeOne is they really have a strong late game team fight comp already, even though they have Olaf. Ezreal Braum is just really great
very
in
good
late
in
game.
late
So maybe they're looking for just lying on a bed right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe do that after the match, and especially not during the draft, as Camille's going to be banned. This is smart. We saw Camille be extraordinarily powerful yesterday. She is just very, very easy to even blind pick there towards the top side. Haven't seen too much take her out, as the Zoe ban that we were expecting is going to come in here from SANDBOX. Just trying to pick off some easy picks here for SeolHaeOne Prince before SANDBOX rounds out their roster. And Hybrid, we'll see what he picks for, whether it's going to be Mickey or Ixu.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there is going to be one more Ilaoi, but I guess he's done with it.
Yeah, okay, so the Na's going to come in.
It's one of the 50-50 pick on the top side.
Yeah.
And you just erase the lane, because it's really hard to lose the lane as a Gnar or Cannon, that kind of champion. So I think it's a really great choice for SeolHaeOne.
You can see SANDBOX now thinking about their top lane.
I think it can be really great for Summit, because it can be
this can be a dominant
confident boosting today against Ixu. Obviously, Ixu is the worst top laner in LCK right now, but Summit is also struggling right now. So
he's been struggling all year, and he shouldn't be. He's so talented.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. So this game can be really great, confident boosting for him if he can manage to win lane.
Well, Mickey, I mean, this would be a time to pick Zed. No, it wouldn't.
No.
You have absolutely no magic damage on this comp.
Not good matchup against LeBlanc.
He could play Cassidy again.
Not
if he'd
80
like
AP.
to.
No AP.
Yeah, I mean, Ezreal does do a lot of magic damage. He can, as we know, he can build Leandris to do even more magic damage.
Not anymore.
But Galio would be a very tanky choice. They are lacking damage with the Galio picked up here. I mean, if you were watching yesterday, you'd be talking about Galio wondering why I'm saying lacking damage, because that's Chovy, and he did way too much damage on that Galio. But this looks to me like it is focusing way more on being beefy and brawly, and Hybrid is going to be relied upon to do almost like 50% of the damage for this team.
I have no idea how they're going to control the early game.
Yeah,
especially when it comes to LeBlanc, and your jungler is playing Olaf, and Galio is going to get styling by LeBlanc as well in lane, right? I mean, you can get early prior for sure if you want to trade your HP, but slowly Olaf is going to get useless when it comes to mid prior because it's LeBlanc. And Jace is going to push topside, right? And also both side is Kalista, as your matchup I mentioned already.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, on Fleet
good
is going to have like
by Yamato Cannon.
Yeah, exactly. And I messaged Yamato Cannon today. I said, I hope good drafts will rain from the heavens, much like the Yamato Cannons of old StarCraft. And look, it seems like it has. LS talks about themes and things like this. He doesn't like Lee Sin generally, but the comp out of SANDBOX is geared entirely around the mid game. And everything comes online at around the same time. Like, you look at 2 items for Jace, LeBlanc, and the Kalista, and they're all going to be able to fight around, you know, potentially Dragon Souls if they're able to control the early game effectively. And I think it is a really, really good comp that suits SANDBOX very well. SeolHaeOne Prince do have a lot of teamfight potential. They do have a lot of tankiness. They do have a new jungler. But I just don't think they have enough damage, and they definitely don't have priority around this map.
They have new jungler, but I think he can be mental booming after this game because
Yeah, he's like, why did you bring me in if you're going to draft this crappy comp?
It's like our bot lane has Braum, and our top lane is losing.
Whoa,
Eventually.
that's a cool Nautilus skin. I haven't seen that one.
It's, I think it's Conqueror Nautilus.
Whoa, Gorilla's never used it. Because Gorilla is always the mechanical Nautilus, the one that came out on release.
True.
Every single time he uses that. Now he's branched away. We have a new Gorilla with us here. And it's all so that he can match the color scheme of Root's Callista skin choice, the Blood Moon Callista.
True.
I actually really like Blood Moon Callista. I think it's really, really cool. When Callista Cannon was a thing, you could go double Blood Moon. Skin synergy really is one of my favorite things.
And also, this can be really great.
Oh, on
By
fleeks
SeolHaeOne.
here. Oh no, Gorilla, what was that? Root is going to get taken down very, very low, going to flash. Not actually over the wall though, as there's the concussive blows. And Root's trying to jump away, but he's not going to be able to. Secret grabs that first blood. And that is just straight up a mistake from Gorilla.
Yeah, and also, that was really great choice by SeolHaeOne, because if they just went to lane and nothing happened at level 1, then every disaster situation could happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, because of this, they're gonna have bot Priya. They are trading side, and top side is just fine. You know, it's just not.
Yeah.
So that was really great level 1 strat by SeolHaeOne Prince.
Whoa. Well, Summit's got more buttons than Ixu has at the beginning of the game because he has the luxury of being Jace. Secret didn't go the Hail of Blades Braum that we saw yesterday. Loved it, to be perfectly honest. The idea of proccing the passive Ixu. He throws it backwards, maybe out of fear. Not wanting to push the lane, though, by the looks.
Still pretty hard to dive, though, because of the wave.
He is level 1. He'll hit level 2 now, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hard.
Yeah. You don't want to dive, really, with a Lee Sin and a Jace at this particular level, but Summit is weaving in this harass so beautifully. This lane's already really, really hard for Ixu, as we have a look once again. And the dredge line not hitting was just so important. Oh, they thought that Hybrid was going to walk into the brush, but they probably should have understood that Fate showed himself that's where they're going to be going, right?
Yeah, and also, it doesn't matter, though. Like, if,
yeah, maybe just back away, right?
I mean, even if Ezra got hooked, I don't think that was really, like, scary moment for them.
Yeah,
Because they already have Olaf and Ezra and Galio and Braum.
Dude, Braum is the best level 1 champion in the game, so
For sure.
I completely understand. Concussive Blow is just so powerful for locking down anyone that you find. And we're not used to talking about it because level 1s just don't really happen anymore. You know, we barely ever see them.
And because of the trinkets.
Yeah, right.
And they always uses it at the level 1 and change it to the lens.
Yeah.
For more efficiency, you know.
Much like what Secret has done, Gorilla didn't have that luxury. As the skin synergy here on the bottom side of the map. We'll see whether it's enough to carry SANDBOX through, but it's a rough start. But I mean, topside is just such a disaster for SeolHaeOne Prince that you can see that SANDBOX is still behind by about 400 gold, 300 gold. But I think that the lead that Summit's got is just going to keep extending. Top priority is going to lead to Heralds. Heralds are going to lead to the top turret being destroyed. And top turret being destroyed. Well, yeah, or bot turret, depending on where they want to focus. But I have a feeling that it's going to be the focus onto Summit and making sure he's as powerful as possible. And Kuma, he's recognizing that, as immediately spotted by the Scry's Bloom on fleek. Great positional play. As he's going to land the Q. Ixu cannot help whatsoever because he's at 100 health. And Kuma has to flash defensively.
I'm not sure what was that.
I mean, Offlane can like try and like flash Q to try and kill Ixu here. We've got to fight on the bottom side as well. That's a lot of value there from Gorilla, just pressing an E right there. But still, not going to be able to get any kills or anything like that. But SANDBOX look like they've demanded some control here towards the bottom side, purely based on the matchup.
Yeah, and also that was really silly mistake. I mean, rookie mistake by Kuma as well, because he got spotted. I mean,
yeah, right.
No, the Lee Sin is there.
He saw the little eyes over his head.
Yeah, and he lost flash for no reason.
Dredge line. Secret not going to be holding this wave. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's pretty tough, as both top laners have gone back. That's 4 swords for Summit. So many swords. What is he, General Grievous? That's a Star Wars reference that I don't know whether... have you seen Star Wars Clone Wars?
No.
Don't. Just don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, it seems
Not the
like...
the TV show is good.
Yeah.
The movie, don't watch that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it seems like SANDBOX is still having a pretty easy game. Depends on their laning phase. Because even though bot lane got killed in that situation, still the matchup is going, you know? If they can stall out this Rake, it could be really great.
And OnFleek is in position. They have a control ward. He misses the Q though.
Maybe because of the bot wave, it can be really hard.
Yep, Hybrid trying to rotate up. Gorilla can't get a ward in there, so Kuma is going to be able to lock down that first Infernal Drake. Second will be the Ocean. Wonder whether we could ask Nemesis what the soul is going to be for this game. Heard apparently came up with some way of figuring it out. Didn't actually have time to check the video. But would be interested, because that could be added to the script. Hybrid slowed down. SANDBOX, yeah, they should be fine. And like you say, I mean, this bottom lane is just inherently going to be better. Like, SANDBOX just have a better 2v2 down here in the earlier stages. And so that's why you see the gold is going to move back to even. But being able to get the Infernal Drake is really big for SeolHaeOne Prince.
True. They can delay the game 5 minutes more, so it's really great news for Azure Braum combo on the bot side. And it's slowly getting bigger, the difference between mid and top side. Because, yeah, I mean, just look at the CS difference right now. Mid lane, they're losing, and top side as well.
I mean, Fate is smashing Mickey right now, who's gone and grabbed himself an Ignite from his unsealed spellbook, seeing whether he can impact somewhere, but he's making his way back to lane while Fate just has it frozen on his side of the map. Kuma not going to be doing anything to this LeBlanc whatsoever. Ixu had a decent time just holding the wave underneath his turret, but now it is pushing back. And that's why Kuma has to pay some attention here as Stand Beside Me is going to be used. Secret gets out of the way. Hybrid taking some damage there, though, as Root showing some prowess laning on this Kalista.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if they are going to contest the Hathered SP, because they have no Priya, and they're kind of forcing it with the tempo right now. But yeah, I guess this is the timing that they can actually contest the header, because
unbreakable.
Because slowly they're gonna lose the lane Priya and lose by the items, you know. But right now it's not that much of a difference in items, so I think they can actually contest. But we need to see how the fight goes.
Yeah. Power Shock Blast is going to miss. There's the hop, booped back though by the Jace. Q lands on Fleek, getting smacked around by Shelly as Mickey's going to move on over. There is a safeguard kickback.
Gorilla is
onto
moving.
Mickey was real interesting as the flash forward does come through. Mickey lights on Fleek on fire, but he is going to be A-OK. Another empowered Shock Blast, and this Jace just too strong at this stage of the game, to be honest. I don't think SeolHaeOne Prince can really fight right here as Gorilla, like you say, has already moved over. Secret finally gets here. And we've got Kalista moving back up. A lot of damage. Depth Charge comes out. It's going to be Gorilla grabbing the kill onto Kuma. The taunt goes off onto no one. And now Gorilla's looking for Ixu. Q's going to land. The flashback is... That's a very close range heroic entrance, but it does do its job. Secret not going to be so lucky, though, as Ixu is just going to have to run back, try and get into base, and SeolHaeOne Prince just lose.
Simply, SANDBOX was just better team than SP, yeah? I mean,
That's
there
what
was a
it's
chance.
feeling like,
I mean, there was just, that kind of situation happened. But anyways, there was great attempt by SeolHaeOne Prince as well, because I said already, there was not a huge difference between the items, so
yeah,
potentially fight can be really possible for them, but support difference happened. Gorilla was moving already, and also Root joined the situation.
I really liked what Gorilla did there.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought the kick was very strange from OnFleek.
I mean, I think he just used it to
disengage, right?
Yeah. He just wanted to disengage and survive. But anyways, there was really great focus by Gorilla as well, so he could one-shot it, and really great flash as well. He's doing great.
Yeah, really, really clean. On Fleek getting out of the way here as well, is actually going to survive on a sliver of health on that Lee Sin.
But yeah, it comes from the bot lane matchup, right? You have bot prior, so you have better tempo than enemy support. So you can always move first, even though like you cannot hit the turret, but you can help your top side. And plus, your top side is winning, so it's like cherry on the top.
Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, having mid and top priority when it comes to taking a Herald, it doesn't get much easier than that, right? Like, you're always going to be able to rotate first as the Jace. You're just going to be a better champion at this stage of the game.
Oh my god. Look at the CS difference on the top side.
I know, dude. And like, look at the mid lane as well. I mean, we're like approximately 20 for both of them. 30, over 30 here for Summit. Top lane, and he's going to try and deny a bunch of CS here as well, as there's a fight breaking out here. Chains are going to be connected. That is a dead Galio, as there's the Fate's call. Secret going to get knocked up. Kuma going to run out of Ragnarok as Fate moves in. Does get the chains down. Meanwhile, below in the river, there's a flash out from Secret, but Hybrid is going to get caught. Fate flashing forward, and Root's going to find a double kill with the flash. Kuma now going to have all these sticks ripped out of him. It's a triple after all the Ren set. 6-1 in kills. SANDBOX off to a fantastic start after an awful first blood.
Yeah, again, both prior, both pressure, and they can always move first. They were not ready for the fight, SP, and also when they lost Ola at first place, I mean, I don't see the reason why they choose to fight and continue on the bot side.
Yeah.
Because there was no reason.
Well, now we've got Cloud Soul coming up for either team. Over 3,000 gold is the lead as we have a look at how this fight all started.
Yeah.
It was actually Fate getting pretty caught out, to be honest, but the follow-up from the rest of the team was just too good.
I guess it was Galio, yeah. Galio got cut out, right? So you have no reason to fight it because you're losing in a man advantage already, right? But Secret and Hybrid, they decide to continue the fight, and they all die.
Look at the aggression here from Root.
Yeah, and the game is over.
Yeah,
because of this one small skirmishing.
Damn, Root played that flawlessly. Just amazing stuff. If you count the fact that he had to flash into the brush to get vision of the Ezreal for that last auto attack. Whew, really clean. Then he gets all of the gold from the plates. And he's got Blade of the Ruined King now.
Yeah.
There is only an Iceborne Gauntlet. Hybrid does no damage right now, like 0.
For sure. And this game proves that SANDBOX can still run for the playoff spot.
Yeah.
I feel like, because it seems like just top tier team versus bottom tier team.
And they did show us that when up against the, you know, the eastern side of the bracket, as the Korean broadcast likes to call it, they do look good. It's much like Africa, you know? Africa looks pretty awful when it comes to the top 4.
Yeah.
But outside of that,
Western.
they look like god-tier teams. Make SeolHaeOne Prince lose in 16.5 minutes, right? But this is SANDBOX doing a very similar thing. It says a lot about SeolHaeOne Prince, but we don't really want to be talking about that. We want to be talking about SANDBOX looking better.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like SANDBOX is doing basics and nothing special, you know?
But you need to be good at that to win games in the LCK.
So you're just doing basics, and SP is not even doing the basics, right?
Yeah.
So the game looks like just, yeah, one is good and one is inting.
Yeah. Well, 34 CS advantage here for Summit top side. I mean, plate's only 6, so not massive. There's Fate looking to get out of the way of Mickey, but not going to be able to. Decent Justice Punch. As Mickey now finds himself too far up the lane with no flash, and he's going to get kicked back. Q, but the Q is actually connected, and in goes On Fleek. Chains are going to connect, and that is a very dead Gargoyle, and now Ixu. There's Summit here as well, and better top laner is going to be the Jace in this instance. Ixu's going to have to run out of the way as Root coming through for a support gank. Can't see Gorilla right now. He's actually alongside the Kalista, as you can see, but this outer turret in the mid lane is going to be taken down. 6,000 gold lead. He's approximately there for SANDBOX, and now Ixu looking to gank this big chicken. He's not going to be able to get there. Back coming through from Summit, and Ixu had vision on him. Knocked into the wall, though. Summit trying to run away, but transforming into hammer form gives him the movement speed, and he is going to be able to survive this one. Good wallop onto the LeBlanc, as there's the Q damage onto Ixu. He will be taken down, but the heroic entrance comes in. OnFleek finds himself on the wrong side of the rift, and he will, oh no, safeguards to get himself out of the way. But I don't think Blastcone's going to do it here. Yeah, he's out of movement. Tries to get to the Krugs as Mickey is going to be taken. OnFleek still on his own wild ride here, trying to avoid an undertow, and he walks right into it. Calls the juke there, and Kuma is going to be able to grab the second kill here for SeolHaeOne Prince.
Yeah, a little bit of trade of kills, but yeah, still the game is really easy for SANDBOX because they're just moving all together. I think it's not one specific player is playing good. They're just moving as 5, play as a team,
yeah,
and it looks really great. And you know what is the difference between a Western team versus Eastern team?
What's that?
I think SANDBOX literally played the same way when they played against Damo Gaming. Like Gorilla was using their bot lane priority, but like the way how you deal with the losing lane was just so much better from the Damo Gaming, you know? And
yeah, right.
I don't think SP knows the way how to do it when they're having losing lanes, you know. So their bot lane is always moving first, and look at the minimaps. Like, still, their top side is winning, but still their bot lane is moving towards mid lane to make it sure.
Meanwhile, in live, we can see a team fight has broken out. Gorilla has to flash to get himself out of the way. Concussive blows not going to connect with the Nautilus, and that Glacial Fissure left a little to be desired. Q going to miss from OnFleek as Fate's finally going to rotate on forward. And Summit's going to wait for another acceleration gate and try and chunk them down. Fate managed to get that somehow. Have absolutely no idea how. OnFleek might need that safeguard back as Fate dives into the backline. Good poke damage onto Hybrid, as this Cloud Drake should belong to SANDBOX. No way that SeolHaeOne Prince is going to be able to get in here as Summit. He just wants to fight Ixu. He wants to fight anyone, to be honest.
Yeah.
Gets that hammer out to the skies, will find himself into the correct form. Doesn't want to flash to try and kill the Gnar. As Fate, oh, he's hunting through the enemy jungle here. This game is just brilliant for a LeBlanc, by the way.
Yeah.
Having this amount of priority and this amount of map control, I mean, you can just distort everywhere.
And they do not have target CC as well.
Yeah, true.
And Summit is just enjoying his moment, you know? It's a redemption game for him.
Yeah, finally, man. And he's such a, like, he's a passionate player, Summit. Like, he needs to have games like this to get himself back on track, is how I feel. And, you know, when you get momentum players, like, there have been so many very famous momentum players. I think Huni is a perfect example. When Huni's on, he is amazing. The Shy is another example.
Sure.
Like, when the Shy's playing well, he's the best top laner in the universe, and you can never beat him. When he's not, when he's tilted, it looks like MSC, where he's just inting on top Lucian. And Summit has literally done the inting on top Lucian thing during the regular season, last split.
Yeah, I guess it's just a top laner thing.
It's a top laner thing, it is. I think it's an isolated lane, so I think there's a bit of ego that goes into it more than other lanes.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Doran. He played so great last game, but before that, he was like inting some games actually.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Doran's like, yeah, he's definitely
he's
a coin flip.
beast,
He's like
right?
the Mickey of top lane.
Yeah.
Just flipping coins wherever he can. But played well yesterday as Fate's going to dive on in. Good Unbreakable there from Secret to try and mitigate some damage. But like you say, there's not a lot of target CC, but Gorilla going to have to go golden underneath this turret. Heroic entrance will be able to lock down the Nautilus. Is Root doesn't have two Fates calls, and now they're going to try and dive on in again. Root's still just hopping mad in this fight. Doesn't quite have his Runeons complete. As Secret's going to go golden, and now Mickey just waiting for another line of skills, and they will be able to take the Callista out of the fight. This might be an overextension now, as Summit's going to try and come in and say no. Distort comes down. It's a decent taunt, but Mickey is going to die, and in goes OnFleek to guarantee that kill. Ixu flashing on out, but Summit flashes over as well. Q connects, that's a double for Lee Sin. And look, it started off well for SeolHaeOne Prince, but they're just too far behind.
I think this is the greatest LeBlanc with 1 kill.
I know, right? He's 100% kill contribution.
Yeah.
Man. He's just slipping through, in and out of all of these team fights.
Yeah. And I already mentioned it before in the ban picks that do they have chance with this draft, you know? Because there is no tools to play against LeBlanc. You have no CC, you have no laning phase tool, or do you have late game? Yes, you have, but
I mean,
look at your Ezreal.
bit,
It's already 20 minutes and you don't even have Muramana. And he's losing item against Kalista. So it's like disaster.
And he might have like an extra component item, right? But the 2-item spike from Kalista is just too strong. He didn't have it in this team fight, which is why the Kalista wasn't able to get those Ren sets. Like, look at SeolHaeOne Prince. They are stacked up as 4 people that are really low health. I mean, Root, if he did have his Runans here, like, that is so much more damage.
Yeah.
But thankfully for SeolHaeOne Prince, he didn't, and therefore they were able to grab that kill. He does have it now, so that team fight would look very different.
Yeah.
But look, like, as soon as Fate comes in, like, he gets taunted, wallop, doesn't matter, distortion exists.
Maybe some people can say SeolHaeOne Prince just inted, but I think there was a no choice. If
No, they have to try and make a play right here.
I mean, if they just backed out, then yeah, nothing can happen. But that's not a situation that they are looking for right now. You know, they just need to trade some kills because they're just way too behind compared to SANDBOX. And look at the gold difference.
Over 8,000. Cloud Drake going to be up in a minute's time. Baron being considered now by SANDBOX. SeolHaeOne Prince trying to fight back for some vision as Secret will find Summit and finds an empowered shot blast to his face.
Yeah, I mean, unless SANDBOX tries the Nashor right now.
Oh god.
Oh wait.
Those gold differences, dude. Hey! Oh man.
3.4k on the top side, yeah?
Yeah, that's almost double what Ixu had. Ixu has a Black Cleaver, and there is Ghostblade Black Cleaver Serrated Dirk completed this summon.
Yeah. And also my question is, why do you play with Mickey when you just want to let him play Galio?
Well, I mean, we saw what Galio could do.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think it's Galio thing. I think it's just Chovy, being Chovy.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Having a look at that damage, just obscene. Summit, of course, has done a lot. He's been whacking on an R all day, but Fate, he's been darting in and out of these fights. He's now got himself a really cool wizard hat, and he's got a cane, he's got his fancy shoes, and he's ready to wreak some havoc. 1-0-12, 100% kill contribution. Do you want to give him the pog now, or should we do it later?
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, there we go. That's my boy.
But anyways, like...
I'll place that one up here. And then he ints into a team fight, and like it's
I mean,
one with a pentakill from Summit or something.
Yeah, I mean, Deathcare for the second item as LeBlanc. How good it is.
I know, it's beautiful. And actually, if you can accelerate to an item like this at this timing, my god, there is just no way to capitalize on a good early game.
But at least, Ezreal got 2 items with Muramana on.
Hey, so there we go.
Maybe there's a 1% chance of winning.
Well,
for SeolHaeOne Prince, if they just run into Braum and they got 5-man ulted and like 5-man ulted by Ezreal and like
that's true. They need
shooting all the skill shots on
5-man Gnar ulted like you were talking about.
Yes, and 5 axes as well.
5 axes, 1 axe over 5 people. Yes,
and he just need to flash in and pick it up and 5 axes again.
Yep. Perfect, perfect. Yeah, flash, pick it up, over again, while Secret's ulting.
Yeah, so basically they have to make a miracle situation right now.
Ixu can also land a 5-man wallop after he's put everyone on the wall and while they're getting knocked up by Mickey. I mean, there's a chance that they could be CC'd for about 4 seconds, 5 seconds, you know, like...
Yeah, I mean, seriously, we are not joking.
No, that could happen.
Yeah, that could happen because that is the power of Azure and Braum.
Yeah. But what they need to do is make sure that they lock Fate down for that entire time and kill him.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he just distorts back again. And
also, this kind of situation is the worst that SANDBOX, I mean, SeolHaeOne has to face right now. Because they have no vision, and they have no face checker.
Yeah. Well, Secret's going to try. He does at least have the Unbreakable. But now that's on cooldown.
It's breakable.
Wow. Yeah, Fate is... oh, no. Stand beside me. Going to be good. Kuma moves on over at exactly the right time. Mickey's top lane. He's got heroic entrance, though, so he can get in amongst this fight. Armed with an Ignite as well. As now, SANDBOX is going to move back to the Baron and try and take this one down. Secret had to go for a reset, so 4 versus 5 theoretically. Unless you count Baron as a member of SeolHaeOne Prince, it is doing a bit of damage here to SANDBOX. The Summit is relatively low, but will still have poke options. Now, Hybrid is going to be able to dive in. Fate is going to chunk him as, oh no, interrupted onto Mickey. He has to go golden. Hybrid out of the fight. The Q's going to land. The flash in from on fleek. And even able to follow with the safeguard. And it doesn't matter if he dies. He's done his job. As now SANDBOX are on the attack. Root just going to bounce forward. He'll take down the Olaf as Secret at least has an unbreakable there, but he doesn't have it for the turret. This turret is going to be taken. Another minion wave comes in. Faith flashes after the Braum. No dredge line, but they're not going to have an inhibitor, and they may not have Nexus turrets at this point either.
Yeah, they are looking for the end at this point, and nothing can stop them.
Do we want to give it to OnFleek now for that like really sick pickoff? As that's a nah. Gorilla going to have to flash out of the way of it, and dredge line is going to destroy. That is a brilliant rend. That's going to get the double instantly. These Nexus turrets also going to go down as Hybrid. Yep, can he get in? No, he can't.
3 items.
Nexus looking for it. Yeah, I mean, Death Dance is done. We've done it, boys. Nexus is dead. Congratulations to SANDBOX.
Clean game.
Yeah, it was really, really clean. Fundamentals were on point. Laning phase was brilliant. It was great to see Vintage Summit up on the top side. And feels like all of the hype is real for Fate. That LeBlanc performance was just immaculate.
Yeah, and also, I'm not sure if I have to say that was great draft by SANDBOX or just worse from the SeolHaeOne, you know?
I mean, I think if you look at it just from the side of SANDBOX, I think what they put together was perfect for what they wanted to go for, right? Yeah. Like, early mid-game dominance, and they executed on it really well.
Yeah, I mean, Azure Braum plus Olaf, yes, they did something at level 1, and that was the only thing that they could do in the game 1.
And the problem was that like Summit was way too strong in that matchup. The Nah blind pick just really showing that Ixu's confidence really isn't there.
I mean, I guess Azure Braum plus Olaf was fine to trade side to have better kind of situation on the bot side, but what was that Galio pick, though? I mean, I understand you need Gnar or Cannon on the top side because of Ixu's performance. Oh but what was the Galio? What was the reason to pick Galio there, you know?
Well, obviously not to do damage.
Yeah, I mean, and also it was pick as well.
Yeah, like that was their counter pick. That was their trap card.
Maybe Lissandra could be better at this point, you know?
I mean, like, it's against the LeBlanc. There are plenty of assassins that actually do relatively well into LeBlanc as well.
Yeah,
and
so
he picked a few things.
I think it's from the draft also, and in-game play as well.
Certainly did not look like the performance that we wanted out of SeolHaeOne Prince, but it did look like the performance we expected out of SeolHaeOne Prince. Unfortunately, they just haven't looked very good. Even Humble Life having some better matches up against T1, able to pick up a match there, so probably not deserving of 10th place, and SeolHaeOne Prince are looking to try and take over that position. Let's find out whether they can fight back against SANDBOX after a short break, or whether SANDBOX are going to break that losing streak with a 2-0. Make sure you guys stick around. More LCK action coming up.
일단
끝낼 거야?
게임할까?
다음 라인 오기는 해 이거.
일단 갈리오 노플이긴 하거든.
야 르블랑 테리스면 대포에 타고 할래? 하자.
자 이거
갈리오
솔직히
노플,
야
갈리오
솔직히
노플.
애매해 보이지 않냐? 될 것 같아.
아 애매하긴 할 것 같아.
되지 않아?
나르공 있어?
해봐요. 나르공 있을 건데? 오케이.
야 이거
나는 키 다쳤다.
볼게. 야 근데 LPL이었으면 이거
일단 이즈 노플이긴 해.
나르공 그냥 피해버렸는데?
야 넥서스 쳐야 되긴 해. 이즈 노플.
넥서스. 나 죽일란다 이 사람들.
이거. 오케이.